Hi, Why the Fuck Nodders. I know it's been a little while, but guess who's back? Back again. Dwight's back. Tell a friend. So, hey, how's it going, everybody? It's been a little while since we sat down in the same room, eh?
Yeah,
a couple weeks, several weeks.
Yeah, like sorry out there. We've had kind of a busy couple weeks between all of us individually too. It's like not like one person.
You know who I'm going to blame it on?
Kyle.
No, well, Kyle.
Mostly Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's fault. Yeah, you're right.
You're right. Okay, it's all you, America.
Brooklyn. I had a child, and she takes up a lot of time.
Yeah,
they tend to do that.
I've heard that. I've read some books.
They poop and they pee and they throw up on themselves
all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
And all at the same time.
So it's like a Slurpee machine at 7-Eleven. It just gets everywhere.
Just everywhere.
All over your hands.
Yeah. You think you want a medium and you jam pack the medium and it's just everywhere.
Like, can I just like get a little bit of this and a little bit? No, don't mix them.
You gotta make and you gotta get your money's worth. You gotta jam
really get your money's worth.
Right to the top, and the lids are oval for a reason. Okay, they're not flat lids for a reason.
How do you get your money's worth out of a kid?
How do you do it?
Put that kid to work.
I am on this right now. I'm trying to figure this out, but I will have this figured out by the end of the week.
Pick the weeds.
I figure it's not unrealistic that I have her to work in the next month, right?
At what age can you do it?
Yeah.
Can you, like, what age can child
It's
labor
like
be?
3 months old. You're supposed to be doing the dishes right now.
I thought you'd be walking at this point, and you're not.
You're really letting me down.
You're gonna have to go.
It's coming out of your college fund. I'm sorry. That's $20 every time you don't do the dishes between now and then. I'm justifying
I'm going to
this.
teach you about the monetary system at an early age.
Yeah, there we go. That's
Gotta
what
work
you
for
need to
what you.
This is
Yeah.
why
You got to treat them like adults. You can't treat them like kids. That's how you
Exactly.
do it. You charge them rent.
Exactly.
age.
If
Make
someone
them
gives you money for your
retroactively
birthday,
paid.
it goes to me because I put a roof on your head.
Like me. See that swing? Me.
And the moment Brooklyn turns 18, it's like, all right, you have to retroactively pay me for 18 years.
I just pull out books and like, okay, so if I look at the
You
books
know all
right
that
now.
birthday money that you got? That's what the PS4 was for. You actually don't have any money in your
Yeah,
fund.
we spent it all.
You're not going to school.
We were very irresponsible.
Not gonna lie to you. A lot of terrible things with your money.
Put it all in this Bitcoin thing.
Yeah, we bought drugs and a trip to Mars.
The drugs were really good though.
But I'd like you to know that the acid was
fun.
awesome.
It was fun. It was
that was
a
one
high five.
fun night that I don't remember.
Let's high five this. Between
Nope.
you and me.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
the kid's like 3, doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, fuck, whatever. It's not our fault. They need to know.
It's not our fault. Should have been more self-reliant.
You should have managed that money.
Exactly. They
You
should
left an
micromanage
irresponsible
yourself.
person with your money. All right, it's your fault.
You were the one that left it to me. Is what
Yeah.
it shouldn't have been.
Who gives a kid money? All right. What do you expect him to do with it? Okay. They're gonna throw it around, or I'm gonna use it for drugs. Okay.
It goes right to drugs. No, it's like it's going to be used on drugs. I'm sorry. Like there is no other thing I could have bought.
Yeah. No.
I was thinking formula, no drugs.
I found out what Amazon was.
Yeah. You now are mind blown on what Amazon is.
Yeah, it's a pretty big company. I believe it's like one of the biggest in the world.
It's got to be at this point. Like everybody goes through it.
Like
Well,
top
almost
10.
except for Dwight, I suppose.
I didn't know what Amazon was.
Yeah, it's
Till
basically
20 minutes
Costco.
ago.
You know, it's like a Walmart where you can.
I keep trying to preach to you the awesomeness of Amazon. And you guys
But
are
everyone
like, "You're
says
weird."
Amazon. I'm like, oof. Aaron talks about a lot of funny stuff.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I can deal with this whole Amazon thing.
Yeah.
It's
Am I
a
going to
little
be
much.
purchasing assassins from Amazon? Is this like a black market? Like
Is
how
that
that
how it
works?
works? It goes through the dark web.
Amazon-
I'm pretty
The
sure.
dark web, yeah.
Amazon is
Russian
okay.
mail order bride with Amazon Prime members. It's good to go. 40% off. It's good. Yeah.
You know what I think the issue is like when the internet first came. If you're an old school person, you always question like the legitimacy of buying something from the internet. Like, and I had that, you know.
But Amazon,
Exactly. I didn't
now
know that.
have billions of
Well,
dollars.
now I know this. Okay. Before I thought it was some guy in his basement. Okay.
I felt that way about eBay, like when I was
eBay,
14.
same thing. Yeah.
See,
That
eBay
was
is a little
10
different.
years ago.
See, eBay isn't a big company. Well, it is a big company, but it doesn't hold a
is
warehouse
not.
worth of product that they sell. At least I don't think they do. Have they gotten to that point? Yeah, I didn't think so. So that is still exterior.
Because you're
eBay.
buying it from someone.
I don't.
Right? Like
I don't
there's no-
trust eBay. I won't buy anything on. For the most part, I won't buy anything on eBay.
I mean, I don't mind eBay. They have pretty good policies and shit. It's PayPal was really bad at first.
yeah, no, PayPal. I don't trust PayPal at all. Anytime any one of
I
my
don't
friends,
trust anything Elon Musk is involved in.
it just gets all serious right away. He's just like, I
I'm never
need
going
to
to
talk
Mars.
about this. No Mars for me. God damn it.
It freaks me out.
The closest thing I ever bought online was from Kijiji. So it wasn't even like I purchased it online. Like I
You
made
went to
the
Kijiji and
agreement
made a deal.
online. Yeah, like I went to Kijiji to make a deal, and I met up with a guy for an Xbox 360 controller, and I walked up to his door. He was like kind of the west end of it, Winnipeg. It was like a sketchy area.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was probably the most sketchy area.
It was the worst experience I've ever
had. And you're like, this was my Xbox controller. I
said, wait, this was stolen from me.
This is why I'm
walked
buying
in there, and then like the mom answered the door, and it was like a young kid that I was buying this controller from, and she opened the door and she was like naked. She had like a bra on, like and like like just like a towel in her hair, whatever. Like came out of the shower, I guess, or whatever.
Immediately turns into a porn.
Hey, dating.
Are you? Yeah, that's what it was.
Somebody's here for your controller.
That's what it was. She screamed at this kid from the basement. I'm like, she's like, what are you here for? I'm like, to buy a controller.
So I just want to hang out with your son.
Yeah, like what? Like, what do you?
I met your son online, and I was just going to see if he wanted to go out for some candy.
She's like, come on in. And I'm like, are you not concerned with any of this? Like, if you don't know who I am, scream for this kid downstairs. He comes upstairs with 2 controllers, and he's like, which one do you want? I'm like, I don't know, the one that you advertised, like the one that was on Kijiji.
The one in the picture.
This one, like, the button's kind of messed up, and this one is kind of, like, old. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I want the newest one, like, the best quality one. It's like, well, I'll give you this one for $30. And I'm like, I don't care at this point. Let me just get out of your house, because I'm terrified right now.
I'm pretty sure I got hepatitis.
Yeah, like, this is the worst place I've ever been in. So he gave me...
Why do you have so many cats?
I took it, threw the $30, because I was, like, terrified. I'm like, okay. And I,
just
like...
threw it at him and turned around.
Like, ran out the door, get home, controller doesn't work.
Of course.
And I'm like, you know what?
Jesus.
I've had nothing but bad experiences with Kijiji. Actually, one very recently.
It's because you got to meet with these people.
Yeah, you do. You have to go to the house. I've had a couple.
It depends what you're buying. If you're buying a bike in Winnipeg, it's stolen.
It's stolen.
You have to assume it's stolen.
Yeah. It's like a black.
Hey, it looks like you put some steel wool to that. I'm just guessing.
Can you take this lock off?
Pretty sure.
No, it comes with it.
Sorry, I lost the key.
He advertised it with the bike lock.
My first video card.
It's like on the wheel and the frame.
Bike lock included. No
Let me
key.
think here. My first video card was a GT 9600S or something. Fuck, I'm old. I'm not even old.
We have no reference to that. It's just like, I'm sure you are.
Oh, the S model? Yeah. That is old.
I bought it for like $60. That was the first thing I bought at Kijiji. My first video card. Fucking.
How was the interaction with the person?
Great. Met him in a Tim Hortons drive-thru. Some guy. And he's like, hey, here's the video card.
How do you meet him in the fucking drive-thru?
Maybe it's where you meet him is a huge thing.
Yeah. Well, now they have certain places in like big cities.
That's a huge thing.
There's like actual
the Kijiji stuff.
That are supervised places.
That
makes a lot of
sense.
smart.
That's smart.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have went to this guy's house.
I should have
told him to meet me somewhere.
I believe it says on the page. It's like, you should meet this guy in a public spot.
Please bring sterile needles.
I can't believe I didn't think of that.
I will trade for needles.
Like, I had a recent one where, like, just recently I was trying to buy a Bowflex. $150. I wanted to look like Chuck Norris. Fuck off. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I want to be Chuck Norris. Everybody's got goals.
There's a guy. There's a guy down the street who sells these pills. I'm like, I'm pretty sure those will make you into Chuck Norris.
I'm just saying, $150 is a good deal for a Bowflex. And like, I went there and it was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna meet up with. It was a chore and a half just to fucking meet up with the guy. So finally, it's in a decent area too. It's like on Osborne, like not in the deep part of Osborne, but like the southern side, like closer to St. Patel. So I'm like, all right, that's not too bad. And I get in there. And I knock on the door, nothing. Knock on the side door, and I like text him, and I'm like, "Hey, so what's going on?" He's like, "Oh, my bus is late." I'm like, "Oh, okay, but my brother's there. He'll let you in. Just keep knocking until he gets up." And I'm like, "Okay, that's not abrupt at all." So I'm like, knock again. Finally, this like some fucking scrubby motherfucker comes up and is like, "Yo," and I'm like, "Okay, well, hi." That's usually the normal greeting that you get. Yeah. Normally, that's what you do. He's like, "Hi, my name is," or like, "Hi, what are you doing?" or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you were raised or how you grew up. But
it's like, pull up your pants, please. Please. So I was like, yeah, I'm here to buy the Bowflex. Like, my fucking brother. And I'm like, yeah, your brother said that you'd probably answer the door and let me in so I can buy this Bowflex, give him the money and grab it. And he's like, yeah, they didn't take it apart. I'm like, so I got to take this apart? Is that the plan? Like,
you're going to sell it to me for $100 now? Like, how does this work?
The fuck? So he's like, yeah, just come on down. I got some tools. And I go down there and he doesn't have a single tool that actually works with the fucking thing.
2 Allen
like,
keys.
What's what it is? Like,
I got some tools.
It's like, I got some tools. So I'm like, do you know what tools are? Like, you're like fucking 17 years old. You don't know what a Phillips head screwdriver is. Like, how can you not fucking tell? He was like, yeah, grab some Allen key wrenches. And I'm like, that's not a thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that
I'm
doesn't
gonna disassemble this 900 piece fucking
Let's
thing
do this.
with this
Couple
alligator.
hours.
I'd just rather buy it new at this point. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
So like finally I was like, you know what, I don't have the tools here. I'm not gonna sit here fucking trying to pull apart your fucking Bowflex to bring it
You
home.
scare me. I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna leave. So I get up and I get into the car and Steph is with me. We board a truck to fucking pick this thing up and I'm like, fuck this shit, we're going. So I leave. I'm like, I'm not fucking buying that thing from you. You can't take the time to fucking. And the whole time his brother's like, yeah, there's been like 6 people here to buy this thing. And every time they come, they don't want to pull it apart. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like they just don't want to buy it. I just don't get it. It's perfectly
Just
good. And I'm
don't
like,
get
yeah,
it.
it's perfectly assembled too. Like,
That's like buying a pool table, right? Like half the battle is disassembling it.
Yeah.
You know, like you could pay someone $100 to disassemble half. Like pool tables suck to put together.
yeah.
So
Fucking
most people
sucks.
pay for you to take that out of there. I'm assuming Bowflex is the same thing, right?
Same-
Like,
this
it's a whole
thing's
lot of work
okay.
taking it apart.
That's why sometimes I will pay more money just so it can get delivered to my house and I don't have to deal with it.
Well, that's what it was, right?
I'll work 3 extra hours, you know?
Yeah,
Like, fuck it. It's just easier that
Yeah.
way. So, like, I'm like, fuck this. I text him back. I'm like, hey, we don't have the right tools. I'm going home.
Yeah,
He's
your
like,
brother sucks and doesn't want to say hello, so I'm gonna leave
and he's
now.
like, the only fucking response is fuck. Like, that's- fuck. And I'm like, okay, so clearly this is an issue.
This is
Maybe you
number
probably
6,
should have had
yeah.
this figured out in the first place. You've been selling this thing for a fucking month and you haven't been able to sell it because everybody that comes here is like, oh, I have to take it apart?
Yeah.
Go fuck
Like,
yourself.
I don't have time for that.
Who has time for this?
Oh, exactly. I don't got time for that shit. I had to go home.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
You know what I mean?
I had to fucking take work off early to go and try and pick this thing up like an extra hour. So
Now
I could
you're
get this
wasting
fucking
my
thing.
time.
Waste my money too, and my time. So I was like, fuck this shit. And he's like, oh, well,
Roll me
well
$10.
maybe I'll get that all taken apart and brought for you some other day. Since you don't have a truck, I'll get my dad to do it. I'm like, yeah, I don't want you
Which
to
is
know where I
funny
live.
because-
That's I've
Yeah.
seen your house.
Yeah, no.
I don't want you to know where I live.
Which is funny because, like, when I think of, like, when you're doing a transaction when someone's buying and selling, like, the seller is in charge of, like, making sure the buyer has a good experience.
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
anywhere else,
definitely.
right? Like, so
Same.
if I was selling something, yeah, I'd make sure they come in, make sure they got a glass of water even when they came in the house. You know what I mean? Or
No.
offered it. Okay, maybe that's weird.
That's too much.
That's
Here's
too
some-
much.
here's some
but I
water.
make sure
I
it's in
didn't
mint
put anything in it.
condition. I gave them the receipt. I showed them the box. You know what I mean? Like, I just, like, I was super disappointed with my first time using Kijiji. That's all because I didn't think that's how it went down. You know, I thought it would just be like a legit thing that people
No.
just had something. It's exactly like the picture they showed me. It's in working condition.
I think-
no one's there trying to rip you off, and you know, you part ways. You don't have this awkward conversation, and you part ways.
Half the time you're dealing with just fucktards where like, I need
Yeah.
drugs, let's just fucking
Yeah, like
sell
whatever it
this.
is, and they're just trying to get shit. And then, like when I went down in that basement, that's all that was
Oh,
there.
and
It
the
was a
small
fucking.
talk?
It was a gigantic
The
basement.
small talk
with
you
a-
gotta deal with.
Bowflex in the
Like-
fucking middle of it.
When you,
Oh.
it's better with computer parts because you're dealing with nerds, and like 9 out of 10 times,
Yeah,
you-
exactly, that makes
you want a
sense.
video card, you'll go and he'll have it hooked up in his computer, showing you that it works.
Which is what you want, though. Like,
Yeah,
that's how
exactly.
I do video game purchases sometimes, and they're like, "Here's the cartridge. I put it in. You can
Yeah,
see it's
it
working,
works.
and there you go.
That
You
all
can go
makes
from there.
sense.
Like, all right,
Exactly.
I'm seeing that it's working. I can buy it. But when a
gotta
Bowflex
do
is sitting in
that.
the middle of the fucking thing, like, imagine small talk when you have to take an hour disassembly for it. Like, it's a lot of fucking small
I
talk.
wouldn't do it.
Like,
I
That would be
couldn't do
great.
it.
I'd be
There's no
like,
way.
just take it apart. Just,
No.
so, what drugs you buying?
It's like a drug dealer. So drug dealer small talk that I always say. I'm like, man, when a drug dealer, you're purchasing drugs
just-
off a dealer, and they're like, hey, how's it going, man?
And they
So
just
I always
stay
just say
too
no,
long.
no. I
like,
don't
no,
want
just
to
give me
start
the
this.
drugs.
I know exactly how you're doing. You know, you don't care. I know what you're doing. You're a drug dealer still, okay?
give me
I
the
don't
drugs,
care how
get
you're
you give me
doing.
the product. I
Yeah.
give you the money.
Exactly.
No receipt.
Yeah, no,
I don't need a receipt.
You don't care about how I'm doing. We both know this is just a pastime while you baggy this up because you didn't weigh it out before I came here. You're gonna weigh it out in front of me in the car.
I believe
Thank
this
you.
is why the
By the way.
darknet was invented.
Just
And
because
that's
of
what I thought Amazon was.
that was
It
Amazon.
all comes full circle.
Aaron, how's your week's been?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Just sketchy shit, you know.
Non-stop sketchy fucking bullshit.
No, I'm not a sketchy person. People paint me out to be a sketchy person.
Just selling shit on Kijiji
and I
all the
just
time.
kind of look like a sketchy person.
You don't look like a sketchy person.
Yeah, actually, not lately anyway.
Not lately.
Yeah, you've changed.
Like a year ago, I've been like, yeah,
I'm not buying anything
you are
off
sketchy.
Kijiji from
I don't
now
want
on.
Yeah.
small talk with him.
I would not buy his shit off Kijiji.
Yeah.
No
Know
chance.
exactly what he's doing with it.
Yeah, I know what's happening.
Yeah,
I've
like,
been pretty good.
But you look
Usual.
good recently.
yeah, you do. You really
Yeah,
do.
You do.
Yeah, you have pigmentation to your skin. It's
That's
nice.
what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was just about to say. I was actually going to say that right now. Your skin
I'm a
looks
little
healthy.
tan. You know what? I realize I have permanent damage from paintball. I'm never gonna
Yeah,
be able to say
it has been like a month and a half since you've had those.
Yeah, they're just
I'm
staying there
dead.
at this point. Yeah,
Either I just have the worst circulation ever, or
just
like,
rigor mortis in certain spots. That's all it is. Like,
my arms
well,
just
this died right here.
Have you ran the gauntlet since?
Since? No.
Good call.
That's probably your best call.
Good idea.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
I probably will, though.
a shot here and there is not so bad, but
But 30 in a matter of 10 seconds?
Yeah.
No, a lot more.
I told Devin that on his birthday I would run the gauntlet.
yeah, he's planning on
he
walking.
wants
the
to
gauntlet.
walk the gauntlet.
Mhm. That sounds terrible.
It does.
Yeah.
But it
He just,
sounds
I honestly think he
exhilarating.
just likes punishment. Just in general. Do you hear him talk? I think he likes punishment.
it-
Sometimes pain is like an aphrodisiac.
Well, yeah,
You know,
it
like-
that,
releases the
it's-
endorphins, right?
Yeah.
A lot of adrenaline, too. But
Adrenaline, yeah.
a bag of Coke is like $50.
Mhm.
Versus
No,
like
I'm
30.
not
1,000
suggesting.
paintballs.
I'm not
$50
suggesting
as well.
do drugs.
Just
over
saying, there
there.
is quicker, easier ways to get the same results. Just a little less sun.
Jump
Yeah.
off a building.
Yeah. You
fucking
could do that
works.
too. Yeah. I'm sure there's a rush there for sure.
So is that what it's been though? Paintball most of the
Yeah,
past couple
I'm
weeks?
going again on Saturday.
Oh, right on. That's going to be a lot of fun. I want to go. I just can't do it.
I do
Like
too.
Yeah.
anytime you guys are going, I have to work it. You know what I
Keep
mean?
saying we need more closers.
Yeah. Well, no, I know.
We
Trust
do
me.
need to hire more people.
I'm trying to right now. We
Yeah.
put a couple ads out. We're hoping to get somebody in, but like, yeah, it's
So
just
if
like
anybody
meeting
do know, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Shout out.
A little shout out. Come meet us here. Not like, just go on Kijiji. You can find us.
Buy our stuff on Kijiji.
Well, it sounds like you've had a couple good weeks though, so it's
Oh,
not too
yeah.
bad. It's been very
How
exciting.
have you been doing?
Pretty good actually. Yeah, not too bad at all.
What's new in the world of ed?
Nothing so much new. More just like lots of. I've been exercise is no longer a chore. It's just a thing that I do. You know, like it's
a
just
daily routine.
beyond routine at this point. I think it's like a necessity at this point.
for
You
you.
know, like I feel if I
You
don't,
seem more mellow too. I don't know if
I guess so.
Stressed, yeah.
you don't notice it as much until like I guess I haven't seen you in
Yeah, it's been a couple
while,
weeks,
but
like
it
2 weeks
seems
or
like you're
I feel good, man. I feel great.
Look
like
good.
yeah, thanks.
both look good.
I've been working on my chest.
Yeah.
You look good too, Dwight.
Thank
So
you.
it's okay. You look very nice.
Yeah.
I know.
Tired.
Can
Sleep
we
deprived.
bring us in for a hug?
Uh,
I can't tell if this is a dick sucking or a hug. I'm really confused.
Sounds really weird on the podcast.
it looks funny if you're to watch the
Yeah,
video.
you're gonna be able to
I'm
see this
sure.
shit. I'm pretty sure at some point.
I don't even know if that'll look funny. Looks like I'm reaching for Aaron's dick.
Yeah, well, that's we had to reach. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just-
I had to go right in this.
yeah, I had to really like get in there. Like, shit, is that a mushroom? Like, sorry. I
So
had to
how's
take-
your day?
What's up?
Better.
Yeah, right though.
Oh.
I went to go see a movie that I've been wanting to see for fucking ever.
It.
So yeah, I've been like literally been waiting for this thing.
Let's
for, like,
hear
12
about
years.
it. Let's hear Ed's review on it.
Fucking fantastic, man! Like, there's so much to actually talk about. Like, here's the deal, right? A lot of people are seeing this and talking about how terrifying this movie is. I didn't find it scary. I didn't find it terrifying.
It's just
it was
'cause it has
just
clown.
well, yeah, well, that's what it is. Like the fear of clowns has really been predominant, especially with all like the shit that's been happening in the news. Clowns showing up, and like it was because of Stephen King's It that a lot of these people started doing this. There was rumors going around that the production of It was actually for like getting people to do some of this stuff, like walk around in clowns to like promote the movie, which isn't true.
I can
Really?
see that.
Yeah, it wasn't true though.
Was it true?
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, at least that's what they say. It wasn't true.
People have done stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
every Halloween, like around this time of year, it's always.
Yeah.
shit like this happens. all
But
the
I
time.
mean, they put out
Did you ever
fake
see that-
newspaper articles and shit.
Did you ever see that one video on YouTube where it's like the guy that just like he's dressed up in a clown outfit and he goes to that porch? With
Yeah, and he
a
like
camera?
punches the.
No, where he just stands there and like stares at this like camera for like an hour, and I was like, "What the fuck is this dude doing?"
He's
man?
just
like,
fucking
it's
with
scary.
people. Like that's what they're doing. Like, that,
Yeah.
that was the thing though. Was these clowns would go to like clearly CTV monitored or CV.
Know
what is it?
that,
yeah,
like-
like know that there's
Yeah,
cameras
yeah.
there, and they would just do shit like this. There was one that I remember seeing one that had a knife. Like he went up and
Yeah.
like it started getting very cynical, and like really like scary for some people that had to deal with like, wow, a clown came up to my house with a knife. That's a little fucked up.
Well, that's you know what? That's just the thing. Like, if I saw a clown like looking through my window right there, there is no way I wouldn't grab some kind of fucking weapon
And just go be like, all right,
and
let's deal with
murder
this.
that motherfucker.
Ah,
Yeah,
I
like
guess-
you know what I mean? How do these guys not get hurt more? You know,
Well, that's
like,
just it.
I
Well,
mean,
they're doing it
apparently
right
there
away.
was a bunch of them, and some of them did get hurt.
Yeah, I did.
Good.
There is a video I've
gonna
seen where
stand
like
there.
this guy came up as a clown, and it was like in not a good neighborhood, and they just kicked the living fuck out of the clown. Like just kicked the shit out of him.
That's
asking
probably why
for
it
it.
stopped.
Yeah, and that was about where it stopped. It's like, oh wait a minute, I probably shouldn't do this in Compton. It's probably not a good place
I
to
mean,
do
there's
this.
consequences to
look.
my
Crenshaw
actions.
Boulevard is not the
No.
place to dress up
Go
like
to the
a clown.
suburbs if you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
okay?
because
No,
they
no.
don't want to deal with shit.
Yeah, they're just gonna call the cops and
That's
you're
a joke.
gone by
You're gonna
then.
get shot by a redneck with a shotgun.
Well, don't do it in
We'll
the
do it in
States.
Canada.
Yeah, like,
Come on.
From Canada.
dude, come to
Drive
Canada.
across the border.
Come here, we don't care.
But yeah, so I went to go see Stephen King's It. Fantastic. I think the thing that sold the movie, I think the most for me, is that the kids in the movie were so fucking well. It got the kid from Stranger
Things, yeah, that's right.
So it has that vibe throughout the whole movie.
He's a good actor.
He does fucking
amazing.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like the thing is that in the book, Richie Tozier is the character that he's playing, is kind of like he talks a lot. It's almost like ADHD is what he's got. So he's like constantly talking, and there's like this line in the book where they're like beep beep Richie, and beep beep means like hey shut the fuck up is basically what they're saying with
yeah.
beep beep. Which didn't really end up in the movie, but instead of him just like constantly like yammering, they gave him like a cursing problem. So he's like constantly cursing, like constantly swearing, and that's what they kind of switched up on Richie. But like the feel of like these kids was so well done that they like I don't know, the kids nowadays and acting lessons and stuff that they're taking is fucking unbelievable. Like,
Well, you know what's funny is I know this is kind of like a little sidetrack, but like I just watched Little Rascals yesterday.
yeah.
And like the acting in that movie for those kids was like phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like it's like 5-year-old kids.
How the fuck do you pull that off?
How do you pull that off?
because
And like
they-
that kid from Stranger Things, he was like amazing
So
actor.
good. And like
it's
in Stranger Things, it's like fantastic.
It's because they're training these kids since they're like yay big.
Yeah,
it's like
it
this
does.
is what
you're
you're
comfortable
doing.
in
And,
front of a camera,
It's
and you're
it's cruel and weird at some points. 'cause
Yeah, but
it's-
is it really like this kid's set for life? You know, like I mean, as long as he
And it's a
lives
skill
his
set
life
you're giving him.
properly.
if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah, well,
Well,
that's
you're
it.
giving him a skill set.
It's the
right?
same thing like a religion, right? You like show them shit, and you're like, hey, make your choice. That's
Yeah,
what you
or
should do.
There's
Parents
two
sign
ways
you
you
up
can
for
go
a
with it,
soccer
right? Like you
team.
can go with the Mary Kate and Ashley way, where they got fame, they had a lot of money, they started their own business out of it, or you can go with Macaulay Culkin,
Like
and
doing lots
he
of
went
cocaine.
crack. It'd be fucked up.
There's
So,
no
I mean,
in between, really. Is what I'm trying to
There's no
say.
between.
It's one or the other.
They're both good options.
It's like, either way, you're set for life. Is what I'm trying to
Either way, you have money.
I found out how many Mary Kate and Ashley books there are today.
Those girls are
hundreds.
Why
super
did you
smart.
look that up today? What brought that up today?
I was checking out their new fashion line.
I was in Valley Village.
There was this-
today. It's a long story. All right, just don't ask about it.
I looked up on the internet, Mary Kate and Ashley.
That's
not
not
what
the-
you're thinking. And I just
Rule number 34.
We watched we were watching Fuller House, and they haven't made a cameo on Fuller House because
They don't wanna do it.
They don't want to do it because they're like
they don't need
our
to.
acting
Years old.
skills are gone. Yeah,
they
like,
don't need to.
They
You know
don't
how much
or
money
or
they
they
have?
need to. Yeah, they're exactly millionaires.
John Stamos needs to. He hasn't done anything.
John Stamos, didn't he do? He had a show. Didn't he have a show?
I don't think so. I know he's done a lot of cameos on stuff.
I thought he had a show. His own like grandpa or something.
I could see him being a
Hot
grandpa.
grandpa or something. Or
Well, when he's not with
don't
Rebecca
remember the
Romaine,
name
we've
of
got
it.
a lot of time. So
I'm pretty sure he did it. I'm pretty sure he had his own show, but it only lasted like 2 seasons.
Well,
or
that's
something.
what I'm.
Again, he needed the money,
He just,
right?
He needed the money. He gave it a shot and went for something. Like I could see John Stamos. I could see whatever the fuck Joey's whoa guy's name. I can't remember the fucking.
Yeah, he could use the money.
Yeah,
he could probably. I'm
definitely.
assuming.
Dave, not David Duchovny, but Dave something. Dave Follier or something. Anyway, he needs the money.
Yeah,
Bob Saget, not so much. Bob Saget.
Bob Saget's pretty set. I think.
Oh, yeah, well,
right?
his
Like-
comedy
He's
is.
got a bunch of problems. But
Well, yeah,
well, he has a drug problem. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's got a
What
for
wasn't
sure.
there allegations of him like molesting kids?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
man,
was-
Did
there
you
was
hear
something
when he
about
was
it.
like doing interviews about like after like the Full House screening and stuff? Like I remember like before Fuller House came out and stuff, and he was doing interviews afterwards. He was talking about like just perverted shit he would do on the show and on the set, and like what he thought of like Mary Kate and Ashley and DJ and all these girls and whatever. And he was a little fucked up, right? Like
Oh, you can tell,
he's
yeah.
a pervert, right? Like there's no doubt.
Oh,
about it.
guaranteed. But he's learned how to live with that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
he's
I
learned
always
to turn
think
it
when I,
into
like-
like,
money
when I
off
see
it,
him on a
yeah.
cameo and I see him like hugging DJ and all like these young like these new stars that he used to be on set with, I'm like, God, you've said some perverted shit
Yeah.
about these guys, and now they're hugging you.
yeah,
This
but
is
now it's
weird.
okay because they're not so young.
I guess so. It's legal now,
Now
right?
it's okay.
Like, it's
you
fine.
can kind of get away with it. It's like, you want a bit of Saget?
Want a bit of sag.
I mean, he seems like a cool guy to hang out with. Like, I'm sure if you want to party hard one day, like Bob Saget's the guy. To
Oh,
be
yeah,
around,
he's,
right?
he's
Like,
the
he
Vegas
would-
guy. You want to be there in Vegas with him. He'll
Oh, for
show
sure.
you all the places
Oh,
you
for
want to go.
sure.
you know?
Yeah.
All the whore houses.
Yeah, like
Oh,
where to
for sure.
really spend the money. Like, he'll show you.
He strikes me as more of a Thailand person.
Yeah, probably right.
He's
Yeah.
a dirty son of a bitch.
A little bit. Well, I mean, we've seen his comedy act, but he's doing fine. Is the point? Is like he has his comedy act. People go and see him.
Yeah.
He makes his money.
Does
Mary
he
Kate
still
does
do
it.
America's Funniest Videos?
No, that's I can't remember.
Is that still around? No.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Who does that
I
now?
can't remember his name. He sucks though. But then so did Bob Saget when he was doing it.
Hey,
He
talk shit about.
Did you
Bob Saget.
ever laugh once at one of his jokes on when he does
Bob
the
Saget?
Yeah,
It's
like
the
when he's
cringiest
doing
shit ever.
it's
No,
terrible.
it's dry, shitty.
And he knows it too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's just bad.
I'm sure it sounded like a lot of it was like written for him. Like it wasn't like
Yeah, he just had to fucking
he
say it.
just
It was
had
a
to say
paycheck
it,
is
like,
what it was.
it
to him.
yeah.
Like I mean some of the videos were funny, but I think they would have been funnier without the fucking commentary.
Yeah,
like,
he didn't need to talk in the background. Just throw the clips for an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I watch
I'll laugh.
Like
I watched
Yeah. We don't need to interview the crowd, the audience. I mean,
bring in these people.
yeah. What do you think
like, who
is
said
going to
it?
happen to this dog? Do you think he's going to flip? Or
And then they bring in the people, and the video's like 15 years old, and it's like
Yeah,
people
it's
are like grown.
It's like,
They have
this
their
just
own-
submitted
They
yesterday.
have their own problems.
just the
now.
worst fucking things that you can put. Like they have a broken leg now. Like, it's great. Now I got to
He
deal with
was
this.
permanently paralyzed after this clip.
Question for you guys: do you ever watch things just to get angry?
Sure.
95%.
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I know that's you.
Why do you think I watch Apple keynotes?
It's the Karma videos. I watch that shit all the
I
time.
watch a YouTube channel called Watch Mojo. Have you guys heard
Yeah.
of this?
Yeah, it's the
It's
worst.
fucking terrible. It is, they have no research involved, and like the one that got me the most was very recently. I watched
It
one.
is terrible.
It's
I
really
hate
bad. They did
Watch
no research
No.
whatsoever.
No.
I correct them at least 4 times in it, in like almost
You're
every.
totally, but there's so many. They have so many views though. Like it's like
Because it's dumb people
They-
watching it.
they're
Like they
Canadian.
don't know what's right or wrong. They're just like, oh, that must be right.
I
Because
remember
you're being
watching
told.
some of it. I remember like one time watching. I'm like, none of this could be right. What they're saying on here.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did some research.
I-
Like, no, this is.
This brings up a very good topic, and that's what has happened to YouTube. I'm not sure how much you're aware of this, but
We've talked a bit about this. I think.
Oh, guaranteed we have. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The
A
YouTube
little
stuff.
bit.
I think it was on our unreleased episode. We
Yeah.
talked about YouTube a bit. So.
Yeah.
well, like the things like Watch Mojo and all that, they're becoming popular now because it's just garbage content.
It's
that
clickbait.
people
It's
are
just
pushing
clickbait. Is
out.
all it is.
Yeah.
And then YouTube is getting
But
more and
it's
more clickbait.
huge. And the people
And they've
are
stacked
putting,
commercials and advertisements.
oh,
and
man.
Oh,
we
no.
could do a whole
insane.
fucking episode.
Like
on
it's
what
become
YouTube.
almost like a horror industry. Like
They've
you're not
ruined
only
it.
like
They've
doing
really ruined it.
YouTube ads that
They
you're
have.
monetizing, you're also adding more advertising when you're doing a show. Like, oh, if you want this, and like, oh,
Yeah.
this. Like they do product placement within the
Yes.
episode and stuff. So
yeah.
not like it's double advertised. So
They're-
you say stacking? Absolutely, it's been
Yeah.
stacking.
They're not letting the people who are making good content actually
Make money, yeah.
What they're doing is they're pushing. Well, like if you bring up anything that's topical, like we would be banned on YouTube instantly.
Yeah, because of
If
cursing.
we tried
I
to,
swear, you know.
because we're swearing, because we talk about things that are in the news, because we talk about things that are like controversial in any sort of way.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't
my-
like that.
Yeah.
Remember when I did that update video on probably Wanna Cry on my YouTube channel?
Okay.
I tried to monetize that, and nope. Like,
Absolutely
too
no chance of
controversial.
it, right?
Yeah, it's like no, like okay. You used to be able to make a career off YouTube. People like PewDiePie, Linus Tech Tips, fucking Jacksepticeye, all these people.
Hundreds of people.
It is impossible. You right now to be good on YouTube, you need Let's Play videos, just long garbage. But
Drawn
they're-
out. So,
They're,
like,
they're monetizing the long shit and not the good shit people are working.
well, it's because they're being careful about what they say. Like I've said it many times. Like one of my favorite YouTube guys is Rob Dyke, and all he does is like true crime and stuff like that.
Oh,
Talk
yeah,
about- and they
yeah.
just won't give him any money. They're like, nope, you don't get anything. So he has to do stuff
That's silly.
That's
like
why people-
Patreon
Yeah.
to get it. And he, like even at that
Twitch.
point, he can't do it because like if he gets strikes, a certain amount of strikes, they just fucking take him
Remove
down.
it.
Do you think it's promoted more people to do things like Twitch though? Like,
Yeah,
it's,
oh,
it's
absolutely.
like it's definitely
Twitch
like
is huge.
Yeah,
Twitch is
like
really
Twitch is
different.
huge. A lot of people make a living off Twitch now.
Speaking
right?
of
Like, it's-
Amazon, Amazon owns Twitch. I'm not allowed
Oh,
to know
really?
that, I don't think.
Oh, I do
I
know
didn't
that.
know
Yeah,
that.
I knew that one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Amazon owns them as well.
Yeah,
But-
but like Twitch is like its whole other thing now. Like,
Well, you
people
pay
are
to
making-
subscribe.
But it
Is
wasn't
what
like
it
that,
is?
like
yes,
a couple
yeah,
years
and
ago.
donations.
Yeah.
Well, before Twitch, there's this thing called Justin TV, which is like who started Twitch, and that's where people were doing it, but it wasn't nearly as big. But now even Twitch is going downhill because like Twitch started out as just video games, right? Like just streaming
Yeah.
video games. Now they've added, I think it's called IRL or something, and it's basically it's supposed to be anyone streaming anything. And there's people who do it well. fucking.
There's some real.
Are you talking
shitty
about
ones.
like doing twitching? Like those people, like Markiplier is a really big Twitcher. So is Lobos Jr. and stuff.
These are people who don't
They
necessarily.
also get like
stream
just
games.
girls can just sit on there. That
Well, that's
have
what I
big
We know
tits
one.
and
We
just-
we know one
Yeah.
that did that, and
Yeah.
like she got a lot of subscribers
Yeah,
specifically
just from-
because she's a girl and she
Exactly.
she can show a little bit without
Yeah.
actually showing. a little bit.
There are people who do actual genuine quality. Like there are people who stream video games, and that's one category. But now there's this other category where you can stream your life.
Have you ever seen where people stream where they're eating?
Oh yeah, it happens.
That
all
is
the time.
fucked up. They sit, like, they put the camera right in front of them. They have food, and they just sit there eating. So you're like
No.
eating with them. Yeah, that's.
No.
I'm not kidding.
Dude,
that's a real fucking
there are
culture.
people watch
They make
this?
so much money doing this.
No.
I can't remember his name, but there are people who stream their Ice Poseidon is his name. He streams like every day, just whatever he's doing,
What?
and to the point. Do you know what swatting is?
Yeah, I know what's
When
swatting
people
is.
find out who you are and they call in like, "Oh, you just murdered someone" or something like
So
that.
they send the SWAT team.
Oh, okay.
This
yeah.
guy gets swatted every fucking day. Like it's crazy.
You think he'd move? He'd just be like,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
maybe I'll just
It's
move.
probably getting him more views though.
He'll
right?
just-
Like, I don't want to
Yeah,
watch that.
exactly.
I don't want
Do you think like they SWAT like they used to, or does the SWAT team just come in like, all right, fuck, we
just
just
hammer him, eh?
This
knocking on our
guy,
head, we got
his
called
ass.
again, we have to come.
this guy's been fucked over so many times that like he talks to the police and he's like, "Do not come if you get called." But like he'll go into a Starbucks and people will find out where he is and they'll harass the owner of the Starbucks. They'll keep calling the Starbucks and shit. And it's like 4chan and shit. Like it's just people
Well,
fucking
I mean,
with them.
it's real silly that there's a huge audience for people just watching another dude's life. Like,
I
to
mean,
me, it sounds like. I mean,
I
I'm
think
sure
half
people
of
like
it-
20 years ago, if they told you that people just watch someone else's life on a camera,
You'd
you'd be
be
like,
fucking-
"This is
this is
perverted.
dumb."
This guy's gonna get murdered out in the
They
streets."
made movies about it, like the
Yeah.
Truman Show and stuff.
The Truman
like,
Show, yeah, sure.
it's basically what it
Yeah.
was, like more or less. It's just unaware to him or whatever it
Yeah.
is. That's the only difference is that we're aware that the shit's happening. But like, have you ever thought about what the internet's going to look like 30 years from now? We're just going to be riddled with dead websites. You know, like we already have a lot of.
Yeah.
Who goes to MySpace now? I'm sure it's still up. Like,
You know what I wish I would have done? Like, if I was to go back, and I would have bought like a whole bunch of like domain names for like websites. You know,
Oh,
like
man.
pizza.com.
A domain
or
scout.
like
Those are real things. They still do that.
millionaires, man.
Do you
People
watch Joe
make
Rogan?
millions.
You listen to Joe Rogan. They'll come up with an idea and then they'll create a like a name for a website. Instantly, someone will buy that.
yeah, because somebody's going to
Instantly.
eventually want to use it, right?
Yeah.
Well, because they think they'll be able to sell it to him.
To
and
him.
Joe Rogan's just
After
like,
he
no.
said that, yeah.
People do it with Twitter usernames, man.
It's fucking
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
insane.
Well, you can buy those accounts, right? Like, I'll sell you my account.
Yeah, that's why people do it.
I'm trying to think of like a very recent one. That
Linus
happened.
Tech Tips, man. Someone did it to him.
What's the internet going to look like in 30 years?
Yeah, like what are we gonna see?
Answer
Like,
that.
right now, Facebook is like still pretty huge, but it's dying. You can see that not as many people use it nearly
Facebook
as much.
as a website is dying. Facebook as a company
Is not, is thriving.
Huge.
But as a website is what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like the websites are dying with this.
But I mean, that's just one part of it. Facebook isn't going to be a website for much longer. They're going to be
A
they're-
company.
They already are how people get massive amounts of information on people. They're basically an advertising company.
But the thing is the information's fucking wrong all the time because people can post literally fucking
But
anything
it doesn't
with
matter
no
because
filter.
they're not looking at the data. They're looking at the metadata, which is
Which we're all
always
guilty
right.
for that. Like when we were looking for resumes one day,
Yeah.
and we would
Directly
we
right
would
on Facebook.
everyone that we
You're like, oh, how do
every
we know?
resume. Be
Oh,
like,
look, that
what's
guy's
this guy
smoking
do,
a fucking
whatever.
glass pipe. Like,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like pot.
Probably not. Yeah,
Pretty sure that's
exactly, right?
crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty
right?
sure that's crack.
Yeah, like, pretty sure.
On his
maybe,
Facebook profile.
maybe we're not going to call it.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a legitimate way for you to kind of check out, like,
that,
oh,
like,
like, how do I, like, what type of person is this?
Yeah.
It also helps you see like how internet savvy they are. If they're gonna have their profile all public while they know they're applying for jobs and they have dumb shit on there, it's
Yeah.
like,
You're an
maybe it's
idiot.
your own fault.
Yeah.
I have dumb shit on mine all the time, but
Yeah, exactly. I just
it's
don't
also
get it.
because I don't get internet, you know, like, I don't understand it as much as like, I just do my shit, you know?
Yeah, me
I
too.
don't really think much about it past that, and I never really would ever think I would, for that matter, you know, like,
Internet's-
nothing I'm doing is going to be like,
I would never throw up anything like that looks like that. I'm not accepting that everyone's gonna see. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I wouldn't throw something in.
I have
like a
before,
picture of
like-
you tying a sock around your
Exactly.
arm,
I
like,
just wouldn't have
I have
It's
before.
I can't
It's
find
just-
it.
Come on.
Yeah, if
It's
you go
fucking
back,
bad.
there's
Yeah,
pictures of me
exactly.
like taking bong rips and shit, and it's like,
Yeah, like
I-
yeah, but the
I-
thing
I
that's
don't-
acceptable
but
now. Though.
and
it's
you see it all the
acceptable,
time, though.
do
You
you
see-
want everyone who looks you up to see that.
No, because if you're applying for like a serious position in your life at some point or another, I
You don't want that
guarantee you
there.
someone's going to look at it
Yeah.
at some point or another.
I've
So if you're
de-tagged
okay
myself
with
on
that,
things.
then-
Like,
yeah.
I've taken my
all the
stuff
time.
off of like
All the
when
time.
I get tagged or something like I don't want
No,
to be part
yeah,
of
that's
that.
silly.
Fuck
Yeah.
off.
See you later. Nobody needs to see me when I was 15 doing that.
And like that's a new skill that people are developing, and like people are starting to care about privacy, and I think it's a good thing.
I do too.
I'm trying to convince every single person to stop texting and use secure messaging that uses PGP. That way it can't be intercepted, and I know if it's been changed.
Yeah,
no,
but
no one's gonna do it.
Well, the thing is like,
No.
does your messaging even matter, right? Like, I mean, some people it
doesn't
does.
fucking matter. It doesn't matter if what your
Don't
messaging
I just went down the fucking
Exactly.
rabbit hole.
Don't even.
doesn't matter.
Did you see his eyes?
It's the same people
like, oh,
who
shit.
say that I'm okay with the internet spy or the government spying on me because I have nothing to hide. And it's like, it doesn't matter if you have nothing
No,
to
I'm not
hide.
saying
is
that.
your right to privacy.
I'm just saying that like my texts don't really like. It's not that it doesn't matter
But
that
you
they can
have
see
the
it,
right
but
to
like
privacy.
I do have a right to privacy, but like I mean, it doesn't always happen that way. If that makes any sense, I know. Like as much as we want that privacy, it's really hard to get.
It's hard to get
no, it's
for
not.
sure.
You download one fucking app. It's called Signal.
But not a
You know
lot
how
of people
hard
are
that is?
educated in that, though, right?
I know,
Like it's
I
like
know.
that's the thing. Like I didn't even know what Signal
That's
was,
why I'm
right?
here.
And that's why you're here, and that's why you guys are
That's
listening,
true.
and that's why you listen to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody download Signal.
That's not an endorsement, but do it anyway.
We are not getting.
We are not
paid
getting
to say
paid by
that.
that, but just do
But
it.
download
Just do it.
it, yeah.
Well, if you didn't know, this is Why the Fuck Not, where three friends sit around one table and bring apparently a lot of different topics of discussion at the beginning of the show.
We needed to catch up.
Yeah, we really
Yeah.
need to catch up. But yeah, we sit around one table, bring that topic of discussion for your listening pleasure. Today, I think we're going to kind of talk about like topical like information of stuff that's happened over the past little bit because we have, I have a couple albums I want to talk about that's happened over the past month, and I think Aaron has got some lovely words about Apple that he'd like to say.
I need to get off my chest.
So I mean, there's some stuff we can kind of
Let's cover it.
like shoot some shit about. So Aaron, why don't you take the lead on this one and like tell us all about how much you love Apple?
Well, you see, they're the greatest company. I love them. They're so innovative.
He's got a picture of
revolutionary.
Steve Jobs on his wall.
Yeah.
I do. Actually, that's my Apple sticker right here on the back
Dude,
of
why
my
do you-
Android phone.
Yeah, why do you have that?
Someone, I think it was Devin, gave me a bunch of Apple stickers, and like my friend just like slapped it on my phone. I was like, "You fucker!"
That's actually kind of clever.
That is
I'm
funny.
like, I would do
That's
that.
really funny.
I have Bitcoin stickers.
I wish I came up with it. Nobody's gonna put you a big. Nobody's gonna do that to you.
What's happening?
We know
in the
that's what
world
you
of
want.
Apple lately?
Oh.
Didn't they
what
release
has
some kind of
happened?
phone or something?
I've heard there's like some new product or
some
something.
kind of
Maybe
interface.
3 of them.
If you
is
want
what I
to
heard.
call it a new product,
Well, it's new to them. Like, it's not
It's
new
new
to
because
any-
Apple came up with it. Okay.
peasants.
So tell us about it.
Recently, Apple has come out with I think 3 new iPhones.
Yep.
I know about the iPhone 8. What's the other one?
Well,
10.
iPhone X.
Well, yeah, that's iPhone 10.
Yeah, and then
Don't call it iPhone X.
well, they're
10,
doing. They're
okay?
calling.
It's you can't just go to Roman numerals all
That's
the
what
time.
they call it. Whether you deal
I
with
know,
it.
but Apple people get so mad at you when you say that. Like if you call it the iWatch, they're like, it's the Apple Watch.
It's not a watch. It says it right on there.
It says I
Or
watch.
sorry, the other way around.
Yeah. The app is called I watch.
I
I
don't
think.
fucking care. All right.
Just information jungle. We're done. Can't fucking figure it out. But yeah, they came out with three different phones. I don't know what the only one I know is the iPhone 10, which they skipped 9 for some reason, and then iPhone
They were
8.
like, fuck 9, 10
When did
sounds
they-
cooler.
Just like Windows.
Well, is 10 not just supposed to be their anniversary version phone or something
the,
like that?
the Windows 10, the iPhone 10 is supposed to be their 10-year anniversary phone, and then they came out with the Windows 8, which is, I keep calling it Windows.
Windows, yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Sorry, I'm just
He
better
doesn't
things.
like using
Microsoft.
just keeps Microsoft is much better.
So the iPhone 8 is like their next generation, and then their iPhone 10, they call it their Ultra Premium, just like they have the $300 iWatch, Apple Watch,
Okay,
and then they have the Premium.
Quick
fucking
question on the
hate
fucking
that
iWatches.
goddamn
What's
watch.
the point of it?
It
It's
is
just
so
a fucking Bluetooth.
fucking stupid, man. It
It's
is
not
so
a phone. That's the thing. You have to have the phone
If
for the
you-
fucking watch.
Not anymore.
Oh, really?
Now it has LTE, so you can make a phone call.
Well, why would you
without
want
your
it?
phone
Why do you
for-
want it?
So you can
So
make
you
a
can
phone
be
call
like
for about
Kyle and just be like, hold
25
on a
minutes.
second.
That's so
Hey, how's it going?
stupid.
The
That's
thing's
so
got an hour
stupid.
battery life.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
It's
Like,
garbage. I
fucking
know.
It's
get it.
garbage.
I know.
I don't
Like
even
they just people are trying to make.
I can't
like,
believe you would buy that.
the
Like, I
Guess
can't-
Who. You remember Guess Who from back in? You guys might or Get Smart. It's like a fucking spoof James Bond thing where he's got like phones and stuff
yeah.
like that. He's got the phone out of his shoe and stuff like
Yeah.
They're just trying to like get caught up with like old school style fucking marketing.
If you really want that, if you really want something,
You look like a fucking idiot. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. Okay, if you have an Apple Watch, okay. Like I understand, like half the world has one of these stupid things, so this is probably not a good thing to call out.
They didn't sell that well.
No,
there was like 3 people that bought it.
Ridiculous.
Kyle was one of them.
Bought 2 of them.
Even it's like one of those guys who have that, who have like that phone thing in their Bluetooth thing in their ear all the time. And you're like, dude, how many phone calls a day are you fucking getting that you need that and you need both your hands at the same time? Like, what are you doing?
If you're not driving, take the fucking thing out of your hair.
Yeah.
And if you're driving, have it on, like every Bluetooth, like every car has Bluetooth in it now that you don't, like a wireless, like you don't need it in your head. You don't need to show everyone that you're fucking talking to people. Okay.
Hold on a sec.
Hold on, I gotta call
I got this call here. Very important.
And then you have your phone on the outside of your belt so everyone knows what kind of phone you have.
Hey, those are bad.
Shut up. Stupid.
I think it's dumb too.
It's ridiculous.
It's fucking dumb. But the thing is that they tried to sell these goddamn things. And like the thing that I had the biggest issue with is that you needed a phone for your fucking phone watch to work. You need your phone watch for your fucking...
You need both anyways.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
What's the fucking point?
Now they have a $1,300 Apple Watch, so go fuck yourself.
Like to this though, like to the degree that it originally was.
Buy yourself a fucking nice...
No, okay, if you really need something
leather
on your phone, like on your wrist like that, you can literally get the Chinese knockoffs for $50. My friend has one.
And it doesn't even look cool. Like, it doesn't look good.
No, it looks dumb as fuck.
It
of
looks
course.
dumb.
The Pebble ones, I like the
You want to look
Pebble
classy, you want to impress a nice lady with your nice suit,
Buy
tailored
Rolex.
to... Buy Rolex.
ones. Rolex are like $10.
Buy anything.
Man.
Go buy yourself a Hugo Boss watch with a leather strap.
Don't
for
buy the 4
$500,
fucking
you know?
iWatches. Buy one Rolex and it'll be
Seriously,
fine.
look. Yeah, exactly. That looks sharp. Women like that. Women don't like this little tip for men. Okay, women
on a
don't
sec.
like the digital. Yeah, hold on here.
Can I get you... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
I'll do my belt, but I don't want my fucking
I can't
phone
fucking
to
focus
fall
on
off while I'm
my
doing.
phone out of my
Give
pocket.
me a break. It's not working. Okay, it's
Shit,
not
most of the time you can't get people's phones out of their fucking hands, and
Yeah,
they need to have this
Yeah.
fucking thing. I don't fucking get it.
It's
dumb.
I'm
But
not a big fan. The things I like are like the Fitbits. Those are cool because that will actually
But it
do
has a
something
purpose.
useful. Yeah.
There's an actual like it gives you a heart rate. It's like it's giving you reason to like it gives you the information you need when you're like instead of sitting there like at the light doing this shit.
To be fair, the Apple Watch does that, but it also burns your skin.
That sounds like a hell
like
of a
if
lot
you're
of
an
fucking fun.
intense like businessman and you constantly are needing like to be in touch with like if you're during a work day, okay, like if you're in the office and you are constantly getting phone calls 24/7 and that doesn't bother you and you don't need to be present at your job and you have the ability to just sit in some fucking room and have this watch available and maybe I can see it, but still, you look like a douchebag.
It's just a fucking status at this point, is what I see. It's like a trophy.
Silly.
Like, look what I got.
Exactly.
And anybody I know that has had one, the one person I know, and that's what it was. It was like, look what I got. And I'm like, I don't give a fucking
He's
shit.
worn it 4 times.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I have a brother who, like my stepbrother, like Apple everything. And
Yeah,
he has the
why?
Apple
You know what?
Watch, and he has everything.
You know what I really like to
He gets
do?
the updated one, and he tosses the old one, and
Just
he
like
literally
Kyle.
goes and gets himself in debt, just like Kyle, for purchasing all these Apple
okay.
products.
You know what?
Like
We
it's
talk-
literally a problem.
We're just gonna shit on Kyle. All right.
Kyle has one.
Here's the deal. Like when you have these type of things, it's becomes the status thing for you. Like I need the newest, the greatest, the best. I was a fucking problem with this at one point too. You know, like when it was like video games and stuff, I would buy the newest fucking system the day it comes out. It's the exact same mentality. Like it's the fresh new, having it before
That's what it
everybody
is.
else.
It's very similar to a cult.
So
Kind of.
Yeah.
that's actually a good comparison.
Yeah.
So can you do me a favor? Give me like not a technical breakdown, but a breakdown between what they're offering you versus what we currently have in our pockets right now.
Okay, well, I don't have anything in front of me, but I have thoroughly explained this to Kyle and pretty much anyone else who will listen to me.
Can we just name this episode "Fuck Kyle"?
Fuck Kyle.
You just fuck Kyle. I think he'd appreciate it.
Kyle's an avid listener too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, he's been on the show. You guys.
And he's been on the
Yeah,
show.
oh yeah.
He's
Remember
been on
that
the
guy?
Yeah, that guy. That's
fuck
what we're
Kyle.
talking
Fuck
about.
that guy.
Yeah. Okay, tell us.
We're joking, by the way. He's
We're
not,
kidding,
like-
Kyle. You're a nice guy.
Okay, so-
you just spend your money poorly.
Just start listing off all of his problems.
The iPhone 8, well, we're not even going to get into the 10 yet. That's a whole nother fucking ballgame. The iPhone 8 is the one you can get your hands on today. Woo! And it if we compare it to, let's say, the phone I have, which I would think is a pretty standard phone for an Android phone, it's very old. It is about 3 years old at this
Galaxy
point.
what?
S6.
S6.
So
Okay,
there's
so
an
there's
S7
been two.
and there's an S8.
Yeah, there's been
so
two.
It's at least 2 years old at this time. Let's compare the specs. The screen size. My screen is bigger. Screen quality. I have a better resolution than him, which means better picture quality. I have higher pixels per inch, which again means better pixel quality. I have a way better battery life, 1800 milliamp hours on the iPhone, and mine is, I believe, 2500 or 3000 milliamp hours. Well, the cameras are basically about the same. I think the iPhone's like 15 or 12 megapixels, and the S6 is 15 megapixels. Megapixels aren't everything. It's basically the same shit, though. They have a slightly better camera on the iPhone 8 because it can record in 2160p or 4K, and whereas the most you can do on my current phone is 1080p at 30 frames per second. So I'll give you one win there. That is one win.
They have an extra flash.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I forgot to mention quad LED flash. Most important feature. They have quad LED flash.
Because, extra lighting, like it's
you
the
know
one
what
flash
LEDs
isn't enough.
Pennies. Not even.
No, yeah, probably like 5 cents.
So that's
okay,
one here and like 10 over here on Samsung. Yeah, it's a shit phone. There's more. I could go on, but like
I don't know if I'm going to say it's a shit phone. It's just nothing better.
You know
than
what Apple
anything
does
you
better
could
than
always
anyone
get
else is
for half the
marketing.
price.
No, okay, it's marketing
Exactly.
is everything, and they
That's
have
what Steve
marketed
Jobs
their
did.
brand, and they've marketed everything
You know,
so well.
The
that
only
it's-
thing I like better is that it's waterproof. But other than that, my phone beats it. in
My
every
phone
single
is
way.
one step higher than yours, and mine's waterproof, and it does all the same things better.
Their new A11 Bionic chip, which is the new processor that they're like, it's the fastest, it's the greatest, it will kill your mother. They're so happy about this chip.
Why would you want that as a feature? Like, this can kill
You
your
probably
mother.
could have said anything. I understand you're rambling there,
But like, why kill your mother?
you kind of killed him with
It's
that.
so fast, it'll kill your
It's so
mother.
fast, it's gonna kill your mother.
But like, this is a 6-core chip, and like I have an 8-core chip in mine, and I have more RAM. Like it's like
Yeah, no,
you're,
for sure.
You're trying
yeah,
to
for sure.
compete, and you're just failing.
It's-
It's last year's shit. Just like every time
Yeah.
they come out with an Xbox, it's a last generation.
For me to
PC.
Yeah.
switch over to Apple, like as an Android person myself and using Microsoft and everything, for me to switch over to Apple, I have to change my fucking life. Like I literally have to
Yeah.
change things about my
you
life.
have to
I'd have to
join a
learn
cult.
how to do things completely different.
everything.
Like why would Apple? Like I don't get that concept. Like you know how you delete things? Well, now you actually have to take them and drag them and pull them into. Like why do they do this? Like just the basics are the basics because they're fucking
Basic.
basic.
Okay, so there's two main people, and this is where people will fall under when it comes to if you want an iOS. We're talking phones here, an iOS phone or an Android phone, and then there's the crazy fucks who want a Windows phone, but like they don't care. If you want it to be super simple and don't care about the hardware or the price value or anything like that, you get an iPhone. If you actually realize that the hardware in an Android is better and cheaper and you want to do any sort of customization, you get an Android phone. Like there's so much more.
Chrissy's sister was over 2 days ago, and I have an iPhone 6, and I just got one because it was just the plan. I used to have a BlackBerry. I know you hate me.
Leave your own
I know,
house. Get
I
out.
know. It was a free phone. I just needed something in the meantime.
Yeah.
That was the one they offered me.
I'm
I
not-
took it,
I'm
and
not
like
to
the
shit on
amount
people's choices.
and the amount of like what
Sometimes.
you know how much I use my phone. You know how much I text back. You know how
Not
good
very
I
often.
never. My
You're
phone's not even
terrible.
with me now. My phone is. I haven't looked at it in 6 hours. Like I never. My phone is just like I barely use it. So like for a guy who like rarely uses his phone. Anyways, I have the iPhone 6, and her sister was sitting next to me, and her sister's like, I don't know, 12 years old or 13 years old. And she's like, oh my gosh, your iPhone is so old and outdated. And I'm like, what do you mean?
You're
like,
old
I
and
got this
outdated.
like, I got this like 2 years ago. I thought this was, like, And she's like, no, like there's so much more stuff you can do now with these new phones. And I'm thinking like, what possibly more could I want to? Like, what do I need a newer updated?
I literally can watch a movie while I'm taking a shit.
I have Netflix on my phone. I thought that was like, I thought I was on top of the world. Like
you are. You take that high horse.
But what do I even need an updated? Like, why do I need from? Like, why would I need an iPhone 8 is what I mean. Like, what I don't understand is people who have an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 6 and they go to an iPhone 8 or like what, to me, it just seems ridiculous.
The last several generations, all they've really done is improve the camera slightly and then better battery life. And that's all it's been.
But how they get you and how they marketed themselves so well as like, even like I have another Apple product, you're going to hate me. But it's like an iPad mini, for example, okay? So like a lot of the new games and a lot of the new things only compatible with,
but it could have to get the newest, with the other stuff.
But it's fine. It has the exact same, almost everything in it.
Yeah,
like
the
hardware is almost the exact same. Like you can handle
that's been
whatever the game is.
Years. I had the original iPod Touch. Like this was a long fucking time ago.
Man, I can only imagine young Aaron be like, "Look what I just got,
an iPod Touch."
And then they came out with a new generation, and mine was fucking useless.
Yeah,
I couldn't download
they make it
obsolete,
and
it's like, oh, fucking.
You're almost like downed upon for not having it, and it's like fucked up.
Seriously, and like that's the thing. That's what I was blown away with. That like a 13-year-old girl called me out on my old phone. Do you know what I mean? Like to me, it's just it's like now you're in a social standard.
Don't you just want to like knock it out of her hands and like hit it on the ground? Smash! Who's got the nicer phone now?
Let me see your phone. Yeah, but like, why it became a social standard? Like the point, like that she called me out on my old phone. It's
kind of like
silly
in the earlier days, like cars. People are always like, you will look down on if you had a shitty car.
Yeah,
exactly. That still happens.
It still happens. Yeah,
it really does.
People don't like Chevy Cruisers.
Yes,
I
know, right?
You know, but people are like, everyone has a car. I'm like, fuck yourself.
Yeah, well, fuck you. I can drive from point A to point B. That's what I need.
But that's the thing, right? Like, it's people are too materialistic, and we've probably talked about this before. But it's on a grand scale, and it even comes down to your phone, right? It's insane to me.
I think it's fucking
dumb too. The only alternative to an Apple phone is a Samsung phone.
No, there's way more than that.
That's not fucking true at all. Yeah. There's literally there's so many Androids.
Like HTC's a fucking company. There's the fucking Nokia's still around.
Hundreds of them. Yeah, there's so many.
BlackBerry, nobody wants a BlackBerry because they're kind of fucked up the way that they changed it.
They're pretty shitty.
Yeah, they're shitty. But like, I mean, it's still.
If you think about it, Android still is like a 70% market cap. 70% of people who have smartphones have an Android phone.
Windows phone.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, because everyone in China, half the people in China have Android phones because they come out with these super cheap Android phones.
And the thing
there are Android phones that are knockoffs of iPhones that are literally better in every way.
The thing is that with the Android, you have customization with it. You can fuck around with it. You can do some things that make it your own fucking phone. Where iPhones or Apple fucking phones, whatever they want to call it, you're stuck with what they give you, and you can't really fuck around with them much.
And they always want you locked in that ecosystem.
Here's your shout out. Why don't you talk about the guy that fucking actually modded his Apple products?
What's his name? Strange Parts is a guy on YouTube. He came up a couple months ago. It was the first time I had seen anything from him. But what he did at first is he's in China. So this is where all these parts come from. People send their iPhones there to get refurbished. You can, if you know what you're doing, you can build your own iPhone. So this is what he did. He went and picked up every single part he needed. The screen, everything, the shell, built it from scratch. It took him months, but he eventually did it. It cost him a lot. But the fact is he built from parts an iPhone, something that no one thought you could do. And then recently, with the iPhone 7, how they took out the headphone jack because they're so innovative and so courageous.
There's no room for it.
He put in a headphone jack. A lot of fucking work. He took apart the phone. He made a hard circuit board, a PCB, a printed circuit board, and tried to fit it in there. He had to mod a bunch of shit.
Wow.
Wasn't working at first.
Yeah.
He eventually
really put a lot of work into it.
He eventually got those soft circuit boards that you can bend, and they eventually hooked up one of those, and now he has an iPhone 7, the only one in the world with a headphone jack.
You know, if he tried to sell that fucking thing, he would make a
Probably make a lot of money, eh?
Oh,
Just from that one, the one modded version.
Yeah.
Just because he could.
Yeah.
And they keep saying, like, oh, there's no room. And it's like, clearly there is.
But that's the thing, right? Like, they say we can't do this as an excuse as to why they didn't do it, regardless of if they could or they couldn't.
Yeah.
And this gives them accountability away from it, right? Like oh, I don't have any fucking reason. Like, I can't do it. So they get that within there, and that's now an excuse for their Apple people. And then every Apple fucking, like, junkie that's blowing Apple's dick is like, oh, they can't do it. You know, and like,
Yeah,
well, they fucking can. There's a video of a guy that literally goes against the grain.
And why I hate people like Apple, like why I hate Apple, and I'm on board with you now, is because of guys like Kyle who literally don't have the money. Well, this episode's already titled "Fuck Up," because it's guys like that who don't have the money, but they've been marketed so well by a company like Apple that they're literally willing to spend every last dime that they have
On the new product.
on the newest product, which is insane.
Don't even
Which
get me
is
started
insane.
on their computers, man.
Let's not get
That's
started.
so
on
weird.
that. You're right. We're not going to.
We've only got so much time.
No, we're not going to get started.
One thing, their latest MacBook Pro. They have Pro in the name, meaning it is targeted at professional users who do high-end video content shit. That thing has a fucking garbage video card, like worse than the one in the Xbox.
That's genius.
I'm not surprised.
Let's like put Pro on other products. Let's like Condoms Pro.
That's it.
Like fucking that would be
But it's
great.
true.
Like
If you put Pro on
Magnum
anything,
Pro.
what an
Yeah.
awesome market. Exactly.
Trojan
right?
Pro.
They're just doing it right.
It's the
Like
worst.
I am a
You know.
professional fucker.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
Your sex life will increase greatly if you buy these Pro
And
Trojans.
they charge for operating system updates, like some sort of fucking asshole.
Yeah, that's true.
That
That's
is pretty
sick
shitty.
too. Yeah,
you know, like you want the latest and greatest, you're gonna have to pay us a little bit of money.
Yeah, that's
just a little
sick.
shim under the
It
table.
is, actually.
It's a drug dealer.
And you know what? Okay, like I want to talk because we're ranting, and I'm in the ranting mood now.
Let's rant.
Yeah, let's rant. Dazen. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
You've heard of this? It's
Dazen?
like it's a company. It's like DAZN. It's the company.
Dyson
It's
Cinemas.
German and it's German, and they purchased like the rights to the NFL Network. So you used to be able to like, I'm just a sports fan. So like before you used to just buy the Sunday
The package
ticket
or
or the
whatever,
package
yeah.
off of like the NFL Network. You can buy it through Shaw, or you can buy it through whatever, and it's like $300 for the year. You can watch all the football games. This company bought the rights to it, and right now, like, have you heard about this whole
They
like
charge you per
kneeling
game?
down? No, they charge. Have you heard about this whole thing?
Yes.
This kneeling down.
Of course I have.
Okay, of course you have. But anyway, so this company bought the right, so you can no longer buy the NFL Network through Shaw. Like you have to download this app.
And
Or
do
you
it
have,
through
and
them.
then you have to, yeah, exactly, buy their monthly membership fee or whatever. It's $20 a month. It's actually cheaper. But like, I tried to buy this at the start of the year, and account problems. I emailed their customer support saying like my account's it's not working. They emailed me back saying
Fuck you.
it was like 30 hours later. It was like forever later, and they're like, and they fixed. Here's a link. They helped me fix the issue. As soon as I went to pay for it now I had my account active, and now I'm trying to purchase like the month-to-month membership. As soon as I tried to purchase it, it said my account, my credit card, my MasterCard wasn't coinciding with the country that I was in based on my account. So I got super fucking pissed off because it's like
You see, like, storming from one side of the fucking
like,
living
how did
room to
this-
the other side of
I
the
was
house.
so angry.
The fucking NFL fucking never dies.
So I was so pissed off. So I emailed them again, being like, "This is ridiculous." Like it was this hate email. Like I was super pissed off. So I emailed them again. Didn't email me back, and like on their website it says, "We will get back with you. We have 24/7 support. We'll be back with you within that time frame. Like within 24 hours, we'll have a response for you." 30 hours later, they respond to me, being like, "We will look into your problem," or whatever. Some shitty little like email, and then again, and there was no solution to it, so I ripped them again, being like, "Nice 24/7 support." Will rip them again on it, and they have not. It's been 2 days now, and they have not.
They just
emailed
gave
me
up
back.
on you.
And then I looked at. Hold on, let me keep talking. I'm gonna keep ranting because I want to roll. So then I looked into this problem, like if anyone else was having issues with this, and apparently there's like this huge thing in Canada right now that like no users are able to purchase their product, their software.
Like an outage.
Like,
See,
they're just having constant software issues. Like, but it's like, and in the news, it's talking about how like a third of football, like a third of viewers, like their views have gone down it's 1/3 of the viewers that they had last year previously watching the NFL right now. Like their numbers have gone way down, and they're saying it's because of this fucking kneeling thing. Like everyone's taking kneeling and no one's supporting it. It's because of fucking DAZN, okay? It's because no one can.
We're breaking the story,
and I'm watching. We're breaking the story right now, and because all these Canadians, I've looked up all these other Canadians, and they're giving all Canadians a month free if everyone wants to even fucking try this goddamn site. They're giving all Canadians a month free of their fucking service because of all the fuck ups they have. But in the news right now, they're talking about how all these views have gone down because of the kneeling. And I'm just thinking there's a trillion fucking people reaching out to this site saying they can't fucking buy it. And it's because that's for sure what the issue is. It's because this new shitty company took over the NFL network and no one can watch the NFL unless they're fucking going through this shitty company that has no customer support and everyone's blaming it on people kneeling on the field, and it just drives me fucking nuts. So I'm so glad I got that.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall with your fucking complaint.
Ed,
I am going to send you an apple with a processor that will kill your fucking mother.
You don't even know. Yeah, we'll be talking about this on my podcast. You don't even know.
That's why
I'm gonna ruin you.
The main reason I have Twitter is to shit on companies. That's all I do on Twitter.
But
if I have a problem with a company,
fuck Apple.
You do it publicly.
But you gotta think, when it's Apple and when it's companies like this who are multi-million-dollar companies who have all the money in the world, 24/7. Exactly. Okay, $1 trillion company, and they can't get back to you with a response when you're trying to purchase their product.
I got 28 people in the fucking...
Who the fuck is working there? Yeah, exactly.
It's 28 people in the complaint department. Did we get any complaints? Yeah, lots.
Tons, and we are...
Do you think maybe we can get another couple hundred people here?
Should we say maybe 48 hours instead of 24 hours response time?
Maybe we should do that. Just do a little... It'll be fine.
It's insane.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy.
And now Americans are losing their goddamn shit about all these players kneeling in protest of. Now they're saying it's not even Black Lives Matter. It's about Trump now.
Yeah.
And
it's always about something.
It's always about Trump. And now Trump is...
This may not make a lot of sense to you guys, but they're one of my favorite punk bands is fucking Pennywise. And I saw a clickbait thing where it says punk girl refuses to stand up during Bro-Hymn, which is one of their songs. And it's just some girl in the pit like this. And all these other people going around in protest.
So silly, man.
Oh, fuck, it was fucking fun.
So silly.
We're almost at war with North Korea.
Okay, let me just say this about North Korea, okay? Americans have 4,000 nuclear weapons, something like that, around 4,000. China has Russia, has 4,300. They're just above us. It's real close.
I would argue probably more. But
China has some 2,000 nuclear weapons, and then you got North Korea with 3. Yeah, 3 confirmed nuclear weapons. There's none.
That's the thing. It's the unconfirmed we're worried about. That's why we're worried about Iran and Pakistan and shit like that. Because we know they have.
Yeah, but they're not really in coalition with North Korea.
No, but
that's a separate problem.
Several years ago, this was the same thing. It was just with them, with Iran. We were oh fuck, they're gonna nuke us. We didn't know how many nukes they had.
Which was
that's why we made that virus.
Sure, but right now we think they have around 3.
Right now, here's my breakdown.
Why are we worried about North Korea right now?
Because they have subs. They have nuclear subs that greatly increase how far they can launch those missiles. And they're being controlled by a crazy fuck.
Okay, here's my whole thing. Nobody gave it, before, when Barack was in, they barely paid much mind to whatever North Korea was saying or doing. They did do some, but right now not we, but the Americans have a leader that doesn't think before he speaks. And over there, across on North Korea side, we have a fucking leader that wants to show his dick.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. So between those two people right now, this guy's shaking his dick and this guy being that's a dick. That's... It's fucking... That's what this war is right now being based on.
Pretty much what it is. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
It's fucking dumb.
And I wouldn't even call it a war right now. It's not...
No, it's not. It's just but the thing is if you just ignored them, they probably go away.
They would leave it. Yeah.
Don't take them seriously because
But it's a suicide trap for North Korea to do anything to
and
they know that, and he's not dumb enough to launch a nuclear attack on
Trump was warned several times not to instigate.
And he does. And he
just keeps doing it.
Yeah, that's the dumb part about it. But so on the lighter side of things, let's go off of the political side and the Apple side because it is a lot of anger.
You're right. Let's segue to your rant, or maybe
it's not even a rant. It's not a rant. It's actually a positive thing.
Fine,
in the past month, I think I have come across 4 albums that is contendership for The album of the year, in my opinion, like the 2017 best albums that came out. One was this AJJ with Andrew Jackson Jihad. Really good album. It's very like folky. I'm not really here about talking about that, but I am going to talk about the new Queens of the Stone Age album, Villains.
Oh, nice.
Fucking fantastic.
Nice.
And then the new
consistent band.
Oh, very consistent.
Yeah.
And they've always had like a very like niche sound that's like just them. And like when you hear a Queen song, you know it's a fucking Queen song.
Sure.
If you see like Josh Homme on like fucking any other track that isn't Queen's, you can almost instantly tell like that guitar playing is a Queen style.
For sure.
Yeah, like and they like his upbringings in the music industry is super fucking interesting because it like started with his band Cuss, and then they went out to this place in the desert, and they call this thing the Desert Sessions, okay? And they just recorded a ton of fucking material. Like, it was like 3 months of them being in this, like, one room with a bunch of fucking bands. And he recorded, like, hundreds of songs. And they called these songs the Desert Sessions, and that's what stemmed Queens of the Stone Age. Cool. Was, like, the stuff that he did there. And, like, all of a sudden... Because actually, Cuss has a album called Queens of the Stone Age that came out from those Desert Sessions, and then he was like, well, I'm going to go off and do this thing. Anyway, he's got this like really weird desert feel to his music. I don't know if anybody, like, when you hear it, do you kind of hear like deserty, almost like Coyote style? But either way.
Sure, I like now that you say it. I can,
hearing it, putting the two
never
together.
Thought of it right away,
but yeah, that's how they have. So the new album Villains came out. It is closest to like one of my favorite albums of all time is not this one. Not this one. Is called Lullabies to Paralyze from them. This album has like almost like a feel of that entire album, like it's a continuation to it, which is like I'm in love with it because of that, just strictly like that sound. It's very bluesy and sounding, like the tempo of it has changed. It's not like really rocking in your face. That being said, they have a couple like rockabilly style songs on it. Fucking fantastic, and that came out August 28th, 2017. So that came out, and then very shortly after, I think September 17th, was Foo Fighters, Concrete and Gold, and that's the one that I want to talk about a little bit here. Foo Fighters over the past it is my favorite band. I love Foo Fighters. Like the things that they've done throughout the years, like they have got a grip on what they do. They're not. I feel that they're not bloated on their career. You know, they understand that hey, this may not last forever. Yeah. You know, like I'm going to enjoy what I have while I have it. And they call him the nicest guy in rock. He doesn't call himself the nicest guy like Dave Grohl, but everybody does call him that. Like in the industry, saying like, oh, he'll just talk to anybody. He doesn't care. I actually recently just watched an interview where he was talking about that they got that attitude because of Pantera, you know, the band Pantera. Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently they toured on like some fucking like not with Pantera. I wouldn't even
like Pantera is so different.
It's different, right?
Like like heavy compared to.
They did like a Lollapalooza festival that had them on it, so they toured with them, and Pantera had this open door policy. So he said that you go into a Pantera dressing room because they just drink all the time. That's all they do. They're just like they're hicks, right? Like they're fucking drinking their fucking Jack Daniels and Coke, which is his thing. The Black Tooth Grin is what he called it. It's like a splash of Coke with nothing but fucking Jack and a splash of Coke. So people would go there and he'd be like, yeah, it's weird. I'd walk in and I'd be like, oh, there's fucking Josh Homme from fucking Queens, and then there's Pantera sitting there doing their shit. Right over there's fucking Britney Spears in the corner. Like it was just anybody that was there. It was just open door. They didn't have any gripes or anything. Like it was come in, we're all do the same thing here, so let's just all fucking be friends. So that's where he got his attitude on things. He has an open door policy that if you're around, just fucking go in. And that brings me into what this new album is. This album is, it's the producer of the album. I can't remember his name right now, but he's the one that did the most recent Adele album and Sia album. I can't remember his name, but he's part of the band The Birds and the Bees. So like he's done a lot of pop music. Like he's always been like very.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, you hear that. It's a very poppy album. My Night is a Neighborhood, I think is what the name of the song is. It's very, very fucking poppy. I'll show it to you after the thing. It's fantastic. But what it was is this recording turned into an open door session. So they started doing the recording on this, and this guy's like doing all this poppy stuff and like managed to get this amazing producer because this guy's being like everybody wants him to produce the album. Look at the names I just dropped. It's like Adele and shit. Like Adele's making a lot of money off of that. It's the one that the Hello album is the one that he did too, so it's like a fucking big album. This guy's good. So he did this really famous recording studio in Hollywood, and he was like, it was weird, you know, like he'd be writing his songs and he'd just like go grab a whiskey, go outside, have a cigarette, and like write his songs, trying to figure out and like work out the kinks on the thing. And all of a sudden somebody would show up and he was like, oh, hey, I'm talking. He's like, I want to get this choir on this song. Like I think it'd be really good if we build up a choir. But the person he was talking to was fucking Chris from Boyz II Men. And the guy's like, oh, that's awesome. All you have to do is take the falsetto from this, and then I can layer it in with this and this and this. He's like, well, why don't you just fucking come in and do it? So now he's got the dude from Boyz II Men featured on a song. So that's kind of fucking interesting. And then the next... Yeah, with Boyz II Men. That's fucked up, right?
That's awesome. Yeah.
So towards the end of the album, there's a Concrete and Gold is the name of the song. That's the name of the album as well. Which is kind of weird because there's like correlations to where he's like studio is. It's all concrete and he's got this gold like outlines, but that's not what he was going for. Like it's just weird.
So
like, there's a bunch of correlations that people make. And also the Hollywood Boulevard is like concrete and gold, you know, stuff like that because that's when it was recorded. Justin Timberlake walked up and was like, hey, can I be on the new record? And he was like, fuck yeah, you could be on the new record. Like he's like, I'm not a big pop guy, but that guy knows he's good. So he was like, can I do this? And he's like, yeah, come on in, you know, like we'll figure something out. And they go to the song and all he does is this like a la 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 part at the end of one of the songs, and like it's super simple, but he's in there doing that. So it's like this constant progression. Oh, fucking Paul McCartney drums for a fucking song too.
Oh, no way.
Paul McCartney drums for a fucking song. Apparently he's a really good drummer.
I didn't even know
well, that's what they were saying. They're like, oh yeah, most people don't know, but Paul McCartney's a fucking drummer. He did drumming on like some of the Beatles records and stuff. Wasn't always Ringo. But he was like, yeah, I was supposed to do this. Taylor Hawkins, the drummer, picked up the guitar and started singing a song. Like that was one of the songs that was going to be on the album, and Dave was supposed to drum.
Hold the acoustic instead of the drums, dude.
Yeah, so like he was like, oh yeah, you know, like why don't you come and take my place, Dave? Like say be the drummer on this fucking album or this one song. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And then they just kind of go about their way. And then like a couple days later, because they're friends.
That's huge that all these people came and
recorded this album. Just moved into it. But like this album is fucking fantastic. Like it's like I've said, Foo Fighters I feel have kind of like lost a little bit of direction over the past like 2 albums that they've done.
But they're like nationally known Foo Fighters. Like it's not just North America.
Biggest
like,
band in the world in my opinion right now.
Yeah, it's
biggest band.
They tour in Japan.
You know, U2 used to be one of the biggest bands.
U2, Coldplay.
Yeah, Coldplay. Foo Fighters has literally Metallica. Yeah, they've literally like transcended. Like they've never dipped out of being one of the biggest bands. They tour, it becomes an event. You know, like if they're coming to your town, tickets sell out fast, and it's the biggest venue they have. It ends up being like a really big thing. So this is kind of an endorsement for the album. Like just go check it out, give it a listen to. It's really good. There's about 2 songs on it that are like I think lackluster in the whole thing, but every song in there has like a completely different element. It feels like it spans the entire Foo Fighters career. Like he's taken elements from their first album when it was just Dave Grohl doing all the instruments, and then go into Color in the Shade.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got a feel from that on the song.
I'm gonna listen to it now for sure.
It's fucking fantastic, and it's unbelievably good. So like I've been like really dipped into like the state of media that's been going on in the past like month, and there's been a lot of good things between movies and like records that have been coming out, and like I'm gone almost like censor overload over the things that have been fucking up. Yeah, it really is. Like I've spent so much money on fucking just records and bullshit. Really, like bullshit. We talk about being
better than Apple. I want.
Yeah. As long as you're not buying iPhones.
Could be worse.
Okay.
Again, not a rant, just more of a positive note on things that's going on that I've been kind of dealing with. I think is fucking fantastic.
That is awesome, and I'm gonna give it a listen.
Well, if you didn't know, this is where 3 guys sit around one table. We call ourselves a Why the Fuck Not. We have one topic, which in this case was probably like 3 or 4 topics, and fuck Kyle, by the way.
We need to catch up, but fuck Kyle.
This was a catch up. I know you guys all were expecting our 1,000 view or 1,000 listens.
It's coming next.
And that's our next one that we're going to do. And we decided to do this one first because we really felt like we needed to catch up. It's been 3 weeks.
Talk.
Yeah, life caught up with us, and it's nice to finally sit back and be able to do this. And I think we figured out a way that we can do this where it's a regular thing where we're coming down here, so it's a little bit easier for you, especially with the new baby. Congratulations, by the way. That's amazing. Thank you. Such a cute baby.
She is.
You have no idea.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone says that about
but every baby's perfect, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. But yeah, it's been lots of fun catching up with you guys here. So next week, we'll be trying to get our 1,000 subs or 1,000 listens out, which is going to be a really good conspiracy. I'm putting it out on the table because I didn't want to before. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it.
Throw it down.
I'm doing the Tupac and Biggie murders.
Boom.
Yeah, eat that. Fucking jam down that shit.
That's going to be huge. That's going to be huge.
And I think I know a name and an alias of who killed Biggie.
What? You're going to hear it first?
I think I saw.
You are going to hear this first?
With all this is my opinion.
On the Why the Fuck Not podcast?
Yeah, what is broken on here? Oh my God. All right, well, you guys need to tune in next week to check that out. And Aaron's also got a pretty good one that I'm looking forward to.
Save that one.
We're going to save that to the end of the next week. I don't want to
No.
We don't need to bust our nut
enough
everywhere, right?
information.
You're just gonna take that one for now.
Take half
So
of
either
it.
way, guys, it's been a hell of a lot of fucking fun.
It is.
Yeah, glad to do it again.
All right, don't throw spoons at hookers.